Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the high school scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the high school football scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union here on the Sports Talk Media Network. Great to have you with us. Coming to you tonight from St. Louis, Missouri, over here to cover the Gamecocks and the Missouri Tigers tomorrow in college football. But tonight, focusing on the high school football scene in South Carolina from this Friday night. A lot of really good football games taking place. I think we've had a little bit of weather in some parts of the state. That's why some games were moved up to Thursday night, but I saw where there was a delay in one of the games because of lightning and things like that. So hopefully everything is moving along smoothly and everybody's going to get through their games and get finished on time. We got a dandy one going on down at down in the Low Country. Ashley Ridge and Somerville have hooked up in a terrific game. Billy Baker's been updating me. David Shelton is there, and David will be joining us, and I think Billy is going to be jumping on board as well. Somerville, the number one team in 5A, is trailing under 9 minutes to go, trailing Ashley Ridge 38-35. So a heck of a game in that one, and we'll see what happens there, and we'll bring you like I said, some post-game coverage of that from David Shelton when he joins us a little bit later on. We have JP back at the studios in downtown Columbia. JP Barry, what's he wearing tonight? You got your Notre Dame stuff on tonight? What is that? I can't make out what that is. What is that?
It's like a little hoodie thing from when they went to Ireland. It's got like little designs and like the Gaelic writing. And
Nice. My
mom got it for me for my birthday.
Touching.
Absolutely.
Just simply touching. So when you call in, you'll be talking to JP tonight, and he'll get you on board with us, and we'll get you on the air with your reports. Hopefully we'll hear from a lot of folks from across the state tonight. So got a combination of final scores from tonight and, of course, a bunch of final scores from last night. So let's go ahead and update you on what we have in thus far, and then we'll start getting to some of these reporters who are out tonight covering high school football. In the upstate, Boiling Springs beat Spartanburg. Oh, JP, the pain. JP, a former center for the Vikings of Spartanburg. They go down to Boiling Springs, the Bulldogs tonight, 24-17. Clover defeats. Now, I'm not going to, just to save time and confusion, I'm not going to tell you Thursday night, Friday night. We're just going to give you scores, okay? Some of these were Thursday night. Most of them are tonight. Clover beat Fort Mill 48-0. Eastside wins a tight one with Lawrence 36-34. Greenville runs it up big on Greenwood 48-7. So Greenville over Greenwood 48-7. Hard to say those two names together quickly back to back. Try it. Greenville and Greenwood. I guess you can do it. Sounds like the Greenwood part is being dragged out. Greenville wins at 48-7. Liberty wins a shootout with Landrum 40-37. Hillcrest all over Malden tonight, 57-0. What do they call that up there? That's something for the Golden Strip, right? Isn't that some kind of battle for the Golden Strip up there in that part of the state? West Side with their big offense all over easily, 63-35. Brooklyn Casey over Swansea, 49-0. Sherrod beat Buford, 25-7. Keenan, 42. Mid Carolina, 14. Sumter defeated St. James, 42-14. Irmo, big over Westwood tonight, 63-0. White Knoll having a fantastic year, beat Chapin, 20-14. It was Georgetown and Ainer hooking up in a scoring fest, and Ainer wins at 56-48. Carolina Forest shuts out Socastee 31-0. Dillon beats Waccamaw 38-20. Hannah Pamplico over Green Sea Floyds 26-9. Loris shuts out Manning 41-0. How about those Tigers of Loris? Kingstree beat Mullins 52-0. Myrtle Beach over Wilson 51-0. And South Florence continues to power its way through the region 41-2 over North Myrtle Beach. Let's see. Getting a message here from Billy Baker on the scene, Somerville and Ashley Ridge, and sitting next to David in the press box, and would like a real hot call. Okay, Billy, whenever you're ready for the hot call, we'll take you on. Dennis Brunson's telling us weather delay, Crestwood at Camden. Crestwood is leading Camden 27-22, 5:23 left. So that probably means a lightning strike. If there's lightning, it's an automatic, at least in college. I guess it's the same thing in high school. That's an automatic 30-minute delay when there's lightning in the area. All right. Lucy Beckham over Colleton County, 35-0. Fort Dorchester defeats West Ashley, 28-14. Skeeza, Colleton Prep, 28. Buford Academy, 9. Northside Christian, 60. Palmetto Christian, 20. Pinewood Prep, 56. And Thomas Hayward, 20. All right, let's see what else we've got. Those are the ones we've had plotted on our sheets so far tonight. Let's see what else we've got out there as far as final scores. We've got, I'll give you that one. Brooklyn Casey, 49. Swansea, nothing. Myrtle Beach, I might be repeating myself, so bear with me. Myrtle Beach, 51. Wilson, nothing. PD, 31. Northwood, 30. And Sherraw, 25. Buford, 7. Hannah Pamplico, 26. Greensea Floyd's, 9. Dixie, 45. Anderson, nothing. Not sure who or what Anderson is. Might be one of those homeschool teams. Not sure. Keenan, 42. Mid Carolina, 14. And it was, of course, last night, IMG Academy played Gray Collegiate down in Bradenton, Florida, and it was all IMG, 53-7. They will flip, and IMG will come to Columbia to play Gray next season. Liberty beat Landrum 40-33, and Clover over Fort Mill 48-0. Florence Christian. Nope. Have I gone too far? No, I haven't. Florence Christian, 34. First Baptist, nothing. Andrew Jackson, 42. North Central, 14. Lexington, 48. Aiken, 18. Porter Goud, 49. Cardinal Newman, 42. Louisville, 74. Whitmire, nothing. Little interstate action there. Okay. And let's check and see what else we've got here. Okay, an update from Billy Baker. 155. Trey Green scores on a 3-yard run. Somerville, 3-yard run. And I guess did they go for 2? I guess they went for 2. 2-point conversion's good. Somerville first lead of the game at 42-38. So they're inside of 2 minutes, and Somerville is leading Ashley Ridge in a dandy down there, 42-38. Okay, so we'll stay on top of that one. That's the number 1 team in the state, Somerville, trying to stay that way and stay undefeated. Let's see what else we've got here that we might not have mentioned already. Let's see. Pinewood Prep beat Thomas Hayward 56-20. And Palmetto over Fountain Inn, 23-21. Well Branch beat Branchville, 55-12. It's Bamber Earhart over Allendale Fairfax, 46-8. Blackville Hilda, 50. Williston Elko, 14. Southside Christian, 47. Ware Shoals, 12. Just trying to give you some finals. 96-27. Chesney, 20. Crescent, 42. West Oak, nothing. Abbeville, big over Blacksburg, 49-7. Okay, let's see what else we've got here that's final. Looking for finals. Well, this isn't final, but it's fourth quarter. Wow, Strom Thurmond taking it to Silver Bluff. Strom Thurmond having a great year. Thought this would be a tighter game. Right now it's 34-0 in the fourth quarter. Saluda defeats Fox Creek 28-10. All right. Emerald over Union County 49-35. Oh, good ball game here. And a critical game in the region. And Clinton defeats Chester in a good one over in Clinton 14-6. That final score. Okay. Belton Honeypath having a great year. 44-0 over Southside. Bluffton beats May River. And that's a 21-6 final score. Irmo, I mentioned earlier, Irmo big on Westwood, 63-0. Let's see, what else do we have here? Indian Land over Catawba Ridge, 28-7. That's a final score. Goose Creek over Wando, 49-20. And another game to update, it's not final. Northwestern and South Point kind of battling for the championship of Rock Hill. And Northwestern is leading at 50-31. South Point trying to mount a bit of a comeback, but probably too far and too little time and too far behind. 50-31. Trojans in control of that one up in Rock Hill. All right. Gaffney's leading Dorman in the fourth quarter, 29-14. Florence Christian beat First Baptist 34-0. Porter Gaud over Cardinal Newman, 49-42. Sherrall beat Buford 25-7. I may be repeating myself on some scores from Thursday night, and I think that's what I'm doing right now, so we'll try not to do that. Try and pick out some new ones. PD 31, Northwood 30. Hilton Head Christian 51. John Paul II 3. And Kingstree beat Mullins 52-0. Andrew Jackson over North Central 42-14. Liberty beat Landrum 40-33. I think I mentioned that one. Keenan over Mid Carolina 42-13. And I think we have hit on everything from last night through tonight to this point. So, with that done, let's see where we are on things here, JP, and see what we want to get to next here. Why don't we? I tell you what. Before we hit the break, let's get in a report on that Greenwood game. Bill Hensley from up in Greenwood was there and saw Greenville kind of roll it up on the Eagles tonight. Bill, welcome in. How are you?
Just fine. Yourself?
We're doing great. Thanks for calling in. Pretty much all Greenville tonight, huh?
Oh, yeah. They put a thumping on Greenwood. Yeah, it hurts. It's hurt on that game for us, you know. But, yeah, you know, Greenwood deferred the ball to the second half. Greenwood did, you know, to get the ball in the second half. So Greenville returns the ball up to their 48-yard line. And on the very first play, they run the reverse and ran it 52 yards for a touchdown. Don't open the game up with scoring, just like that. 17 seconds in. And then Greenwood, on their first possession from the ensuing kickoff, ran a little run play. And then the second play, they threw a long pass and went right through Zion Hawkins' hands. He had the defender beat. He just went right through his hands. If we'd have done that, it would have been tied back up 7-7, just like that. I mean, within 30 seconds, there would have been 14 points scored total in the game. But, yeah, and from that on, Greenwood had to punt that ball, and then Greenville went right down and scored real fast, and 14-0, and that just, took the win. Took the win out of Greenwood right there. Even though it was 14-0, Greenville's quick.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
They had 366 yards in the first half.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was just the first half. They had over 200 in the first quarter. So, and on 12 plays or something like that, I think, in the first quarter.
Yeah. They have it going in the passing game primarily, Greenville High?
Oh yeah, the passing game, running game. I'm driving right now, so I can't kind of look at my phone to look at the stats. I think I did post it on Twitter, though, you go to my page. I think I did tag y'all in it, I believe.
Okay.
The stats too.
Okay.
So, and I kept, because I think one of the guys that committed to Carolina, that's out to the Gamecocks.
Yeah, the receiver, Mazio Bennett.
Yes. I think he had a big. No, he didn't have a big. I think he ran. Was it Robinson? I can't remember which one it is. I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I can't.
That's
really
okay. You keep your eyes on the road and your hands on the wheel.
Yes, sir.
Well,
it was
listen.
Good seeing it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, man. Enjoyed it. And listen, appreciate you calling in and keep in touch with us through the rest of the season.
Okay, and we Pickens comes to Greenwood next week. So it'll be final game Pickens up here in Greenwood at the Bath. So for next week's game.
You mean what do you mean you mean the final game of the of what, the regular season, right? Yeah.
Regular season. Yeah, Pickens at Greenwood next week.
Gotcha. Okay, sir. Thanks very much, Bill. Good hearing from you. Bill
Yes,
Hensley from up in Greenwood. He keeps up with stats and everything with the Eagles, but a tough night for them as they fall big to that Greenville High team that'll be very dangerous in the postseason. Okay, let's hit our first break. Running a few minutes late, but that's okay. And we'll be back with more scores as we get more scores in order and get more reports lined up for you. And waiting to get the final score from down there at Ashley Ridge. Ashley Ridge in Somerville hooked up in one of those region classics. They might very well meet again later on down the road. Last report, under 2 minutes to go. Somerville had retaken the lead or taken its first lead of the game, 42-38. Be back in a moment.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitments that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists, or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
Back on the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union across the state of South Carolina. Great to have you with us on this Friday night. Let's update you on some other final scores that have been reported. Northwestern has beaten South Point now 64-31. Augusta Christian over Ben Lippen 31-28. Strom Thurmond has finished off Silver Bluff. Final score turned out to be 34-7. How about Dutch Fork? Are they starting to get warmed up for the postseason? They beat River Bluff 56-3. AC Flora thumped Lugoff Elgin 44-3. Jefferson Davis Academy 48. Faith Christian 14. North Augusta beat Airport 49-15. Saluda over Fox Creek. Final score of 28-10. Ridgeview 42. Richland Northeast 21. Greer big over Wade Hampton 65-7. Getting an update from the Low Country. Let's see here. 37 and a half seconds. Ashley Ridge, incomplete pass on 4th down, and Somerville takes over up 42-38. So unless they pull a Miami, Somerville's going to win and remain undefeated. But what a ball game. Had to come from behind and score late, and looks like they're going to win it, barring a catastrophe. 42-38, Somerville over Ashley Ridge. A terrific ball game down in the Low Country tonight. We'll hear from Billy Baker and may hear from Ian Rafferty, the coach at Somerville, if they can catch him. Of course, David Shelton will be along, and he'll have a whole bunch more to say about that when he joins us. All right, Broome over Carolina Academy, 55-6. Hillcrest beat Malden, 57-0. Berea over Pickens, 28-25. Chapman, 50. Blue Ridge, 21. Nation Ford, 49. Spring Valley, nothing. Indiana over Catawba, 28-7. Bluffton down May River, 21-6. Wilson Hall, 47. Heathwood Hall, 28. And let's see. Just trying to pick out some new ones for you, so I'm not going over and over the same scores. Daniel has beaten Pendleton. Okay, we talked about this game on Sports Talk. Pendleton with a great record, but was the record indicative of the team, or could they play with Daniel? Nope, Daniel doubled them up, 56-28. Lions, the big winners there. Okay, let's see what else we've got here, perhaps. We are checking ScoreStream and also SC High School football updates. Both do excellent jobs of aggregating scores from across the state. So let's see if we have anything new over here on the ScoreStream. Looking for some finals. They mix in progress scores with finals, trying to give you just the finals that maybe we haven't given you to this point. Blackville Hilda 50, Williston Elko 14, Southside Christian 47, Ware Shoals 12, and Batesburg Leesville 35-0 over Pelion. 96 beat Chesty 27-20. Crescent over West Oak 42-0. Christ Church beats St. Joseph's 35-21, two of the top 10 single A schools, and Christ Church gets it done in that one. And let's see what else that we have here that's final. Newberry over Columbia 47-8. Emerald topped Union County 49-35. Clinton 14-6 over Chester. Sure we'll hear from Monty Dutton on that. Wren beat Powdersville. High-scoring game here, 42-39. Belton Honeypath 44, Southside nothing. Bluffton over May River 21-6. Beaufort big over North Charleston 54-12. North Augusta beat Airport 49-15. Irmo over Westwood 63-0. Gilbert takes down Dreer 53-6. AC Flora 44. Lugoff Elgin 3. Indianland downs Catawba Ridge 28-7. Walhalla defeats Seneca 28-19. And I had a text that said something about how long it had been since Walhalla had beaten Seneca. Let's see, what was this text? First time since 1979, 44 years. My man Brandon with the research there. Walhalla beats Seneca 28-19. Berea knocks off Pickens 28-25. Fort Dorchester over West Ashley 28-14. And now it appears to have gone final. Somerville has beaten Ashley Ridge to remain undefeated 42-38. We'll be back after this break on the high school football scoreboard from Founders.
October just keeps getting better and better at Shooter's Choice. Another weekend, another factory blowout deal. This weekend, Shooter's Choice will have Christensen Arms in, bringing you the world-class hunting rifles. Christensen Arms brings you a premium long-range rifle made with stainless steel, aerospace carbon fiber materials, and a guarantee sub-MOA accuracy. It's made in the USA. Shooter's Choice will have the Christensen Ranger, Mesa, and Ridgeline premium rifle families all on sale. Every rifle purchase qualifies you for up to a $750 Christensen factory gift card for premium gear and accessory bonuses. These Christensen rifles are some of the lightest weight hunting rifles offered and at affordable prices. Let the experts help you, the ones who actually hunt and shoot, who make working at Shooter's Choice a career, not a part-time stop in between jobs. They care about what they do. They care about making your experience awesome. So give them a chance. In West Columbia on Sunset Boulevard, stop in this weekend. Get help making your best hunting gear decisions. The hunt is on, so make your first choice, your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
The move leaves the Republican conference without a nominee more than 2 weeks after the historic removal of Kevin McCarthy. This is SRN News.
If you trade stocks, then you know avoiding pitfalls is the biggest challenge for both new and experienced investors. Vantage Point's dual-patented artificial intelligence provides a powerful solution to this problem by offering predictive accuracy, emotional neutrality, and diverse market forecasts for today's active traders. Vantage Point's AI analyzes billions of data points in seconds, so you get highly accurate predicted market conditions for the next trading day. Take the emotion out of your trading. Text the word money to 813-813. Navigate the financial markets with confidence using AI. Text MONEY to 813-813 right now to learn more for free. Text money to 813-813 to experience the benefits of AI in your trading. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future.
Hey everybody, I'm David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. When you think about insurance, I ask that you think of me. I'm homegrown in the Midlands. I live in Lexington. I'm a lifelong learner, teacher, coach, and friend. There are many insurance agencies out there, and there's even more agents. How am I different? I served 20 plus years as a coach and teacher. I'll help you understand it. I've done this for a long time. I've been there for folks during horrible times in their lives. It's not easy, but it's when I can help the most. I'll explain the right insurance coverage, not try to sell it to you. Best of all, I'm an independent insurance agent. I want to be your trusted insurance advisor. I have no quotas to fill. I work for you, and I'll find you the best and most affordable coverage to fully protect you, your family, and your business. I'm always available to my clients, who I get to know as friends. I can help with personal insurance, like your homes, vehicles, or boats, your commercial, for business owners. And it doesn't matter how big or small your company is, I want to help. So when you think about insurance, think of me, David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Group. Online at higginsandhalloran.com or give me a call at 803-850-0054.
October just keeps getting better and better at Shooter's Choice. Another weekend, another factory blowout deal. This weekend, Shooter's Choice will have Christensen Arms in, bringing you the world-class hunting rifles. Christensen Arms brings you a premium long-range rifle made with stainless steel, aerospace carbon fiber materials, and a guarantee sub-MOA accuracy. It's made in the USA. Shooter's Choice will have the Christensen Ranger, Mesa, and Ridgeline premium rifle families all on sale. Every rifle purchase qualifies you for up to a $750 Christensen factory gift card for premium gear and accessory bonuses. These Christensen rifles are some of the lightest weight hunting rifles offered and at affordable prices. Let the experts help you, the ones who actually hunt and shoot, who make working at Shooter's Choice a career, not a part-time stop in between jobs. They care about what they do. They care about making your experience awesome. So give them a chance. In West Columbia on Sunset Boulevard, stop in this weekend. Get help making your best hunting gear decisions. The hunt is on, so make your first choice, your best choice. Make it Shooter's Choice.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
We are back on the high school football scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Andrew Jackson has beaten North Central. That final score was 42-14. And let's see if we have any else that is new as far as final scores are concerned. Wren over Powdersville, shootout here, 43-39. Batesburg-Leesville 35, Pillion nothing. Pinewood Prep 56, Thomas Hayward 20. Feel like we've mentioned these already. I told you Somerville had gone final over Ashley Ridge 42-38, Calhoun County 55, Ridge Spring Monetta 6, Midland Valley over South Aiken 56-28, Abbeville 49, Blacksburg 7, 96-27, Chesney 20, Beaufort 54, North Charleston 12, Daniel 56, Pendleton 28. Okay. Let's get to more reporters. Appreciate everybody calling in with their reports tonight. You are the guys that make this show go, well, along with David Shelton, but mostly you guys. Doug Holliday, Lawrence, and Eastside tonight up in the upstate of South Carolina. High-scoring affair. Doug, 36-34. The Eagles win it. Did it come down to something at the very end?
Actually, it did, Phil. It was a high-scoring affair late. Eastside went up 24-0 at halftime. Lawrence couldn't get anything going. Eastside's got an outstanding running back named Calvin Banks, over 4,000 career yards, and he was on his game tonight. It was 24-0 at the house. It was, I think they got it up to 36-8, and then all of a sudden the Raiders caught fire and came back and actually scored to make it 36-34 with 2 minutes to go. Went for two. Nick Dansey, the quarterback, dove for the pylon. The official said he didn't get in, so it stayed at 36-34. Onside kick was no good, and Eastside was able to run the clock out from there. But Lawrence scored 26 points in the fourth quarter. It's been a strange year for us, and that just continues. I've been at this for either radio or covering for the Greenville News for 42 years now, and I've seen some of the weirdest stuff this year I've ever seen, but some great performances. Dansey 17-27 for 252 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Josh Goodwin, our wide receiver, who's had a couple of great weeks, he had 160 yards tonight and a touchdown. Nick Fowler, 89 yards and some big catches down that stretch. And Gervais Suber, the defensive back who had a couple of picks last week, he had a pick tonight late that kind of spurred the comeback and got it started. So, again, just a tough night for the Raiders. Finish up 2-8 the regular season, 2-2 in Region 2 4A, headed to the playoffs. And as it seems to be our tradition, if we're not playing at home, we're headed somewhere in Rock Hill. It looks like either Northwestern or South Point, depending on how that goes.
Tough year, tough regular season. You get the feeling, coaches and players, however, can kind of regroup it a little bit, and even though you'll be on the road, kind of look at the postseason as a start of a new season.
Absolutely. Now they'll take a look here in this off week. We started week 0, so we're off next week. I'm sure they'll bring up some players off the junior varsity. We had 25 players who had substantial playing time this year that will be back next year. Got an outstanding young quarterback coming up off the junior varsity. He'll be a sophomore next year. I think he's going to be a really good one. But the great thing about this, and this is hats off. I was talking to Coach Smith before the game, and I told him, these guys at 0-7 could have hung it up, and they didn't. And then tonight, down 24-0 at the house, they could have hung it up, and they didn't. They just kept their nose down, kept grinding, and have given it all they had every Friday night. And but my hat's off to them for that. If you can keep doing that when you're not having such a great year, that says a lot about your character to me.
And and culture in the program, and really what you're kind of trying to develop there, I would say.
Exactly.
Okay, Doug, thank you, my man. Have yourself a great rest of the weekend. Talk to you in a couple of weeks in the playoffs.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Always appreciate it. Let's keep it in the upstate. Kevin Selman, voice of T.L. Hanna. Boom, boom goes the dynamite. And T.L. Hanna, one of the greatest calls in all of play-by-play. You can't claim it. A lot of booming going off tonight by the Yellow Jackets against Woodmont, 64-25.
Yeah, in a lopsided game from the get-go. We had a running clock at some point in time toward the end of the third quarter there. But it was one of those games where the Yellow Jackets had already clinched the Region 1 5A title and home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. So you were just hoping that you come in the game tonight and not get anybody hurt, stay focused, and put a good game together. And they did that tonight. Some stats that'll stand out for you that you'll appreciate. Katie Patterson, I guess I would say our best running back. We got about 10 of them, but our best running back, 5 carries, 171 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he averaged 34 yards a carry tonight, just on 5 carries. As a whole, the Yellow Jackets went over that 400 mark again, 403 total yards. And I know your favorite, T.L. Hanna stat, and this is going to floor you. I hope you're sitting down.
Yep.
4 for 4 passing for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. You know, they're just showing that for the playoffs. They're just showing that.
Well, there's been some times this year in the Jailman and in the Hillcrest game, both games that were very important in deciding the region winner. There were some very important passing plays in those games when the Jackets needed to get a first down or to keep the ball moving. And I got another stat that I'll just find astonishing. We played 10 football games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many times we punted this year?
In 10 games, how many times you have punted in 10 games? Knowing how much y'all score and how much of the game you eat up on a typical drive, I'm going to say you have punted 4 times.
8. 8 times in 10 games.
Maybe I was being a little bit over the top with you.
Yeah, I think that's pretty astonishing to punt 8 times in 10 games.
Oh, I agree. That is fantastic.
So now we're much like the Raiders. I heard Doug call in. We played them earlier this year. Tough year for the Raiders, but much like the Raiders, we started in week 0, and our bye week is next week. So now we're at home throughout the entire playoffs, but we have a bye week next week. We're waiting to see who we're going to play. It's the 5th seed from Region 3 5A, which looks like it's either going to be Fort Mill or Blythewood. Don't know much about either one of those teams, but it looks like one of those 2 teams will be coming to Jim Frazier Field here in a couple of weeks for the first round of the playoffs.
And you're going to, like you said, you're going to have home field all the way through?
All the way through. If we play another game away from home this year, it'll be down in Columbia.
Orangeburg.
For the state championship.
Orangeburg.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Yeah. So wherever the state championship teams are, if we have to travel, that'd be the only time we have to travel.
Yeah, got to go another 40 miles down 26.
Yeah. Oddly enough, we were looking at the brackets this week and talking to a few of the folks, and it looks like the way the brackets are set up, it's all, and I mean, you want to win the region title, so it's not like you don't want to do that, but it looks like the 2 seed out of our region might have an easier path. I mean, you still got to win no matter what, but it looks like the 2 seed might have an easier path because if we're able to win that first round playoff game at home against, like I said, either Fort Mill or Blythewood, our second round opponent could be anywhere between Gaffney, Spartanburg, Dorman, or the White Knoll region, whoever the second seed is out of there. So it's we got a tough bracket, but with the way we run the football and defensively we're pretty solid. We're a tough matchup for just about anybody.
Oh, no question about it. Okay, my man. Thank you very much. Great hearing from you. Have a terrific weekend. I guess you're not making it down to Miami with your Tigers.
I am not. My daughter is a cheerleader for T.L. Hanna, so she's got a competition tomorrow. So I will be at T.L. Hanna again tomorrow, rooting on the Yellow Jacket cheerleading team instead of the football team.
Boom goes the dynamite. You have a good one.
There you go. Yep, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks, Bill.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. Always great hearing from you. All right. By the way, boom goes the dynamite, in case you're wondering, is the play-by-play call of Anderson University's play-by-play basketball announcer when he was doing play-by-play over there, George Duckworth. And when one of the Trojans would hit a three-pointer, it'd be boom goes the dynamite, which I thought was, kind of a neat call for for a three-point shot in basketball, especially if you know George and his personality. Kind of a contradiction of his personality. Okay, enough of that. Let's go to Monty Dutton covering Clinton as always, and the Red Devils. Big game tonight, Monty, against Chester. This one lived up to the billing in terms of how close it was, 14-6. Red Devils win it at home, and that's a quality win over a good team.
Well, it was a really surprising game in many ways. First of all, the two teams combined for 213 yards and penalties. Chester had 111, Clinton had 102. Clinton rushed for only 95 yards, and that's the least I remember in the last 3 seasons. It was a game of big plays, and also if you had told me that the prolific offenses of Chester and Clinton would play a 14-6 game, I would have told there's no way. And if there would have been, I would have said because the game was played in a quagmire. It rained heavily here at about 4:30, but the field was in great position, and I never saw anyone slide down. I mean, it was a good playing surface. But one of the interesting things is the game's leading rusher was Chester's Elijah Coleman with 51 yards, but he averaged 2.5 a carry. For Clinton's leading rusher was Trey Took, and he had 49 yards, but he averaged 6.1 yards a carry. Cooper Floyd, Chester's quarterback, was 12 of 27 with 3 interceptions, 239 yards. Deshaun Richardson of Clinton was 5 of 9 with 103 yards. The Chester quarterback threw 3 interceptions. The Clinton quarterback threw 2. And so it was 7-0 Clinton at half and 14-0 until Chester got a score, failed to get it when they went for 2. And, Zay Johnson, the Shrine Bowl player for Clinton, intercepted 2 passes and caught a 57-yard touchdown pass. And Caden Crawford, Clinton's representative in the North-South game, he plays linebacker on defense, tight end, but he had but he rushed 2 carries for 17 yards, and Johnson caught 3 passes and Crawford caught 1 for 34 yards. And Clinton made the story. It was a defensive game, and Clinton made the big plays. And so Clinton is now 7-2, has wrapped up Region 4, and Chester is 8-2. That's right. They finished tonight. Chester is 8-2, and so Clinton has only, even if Clinton were to miraculously lose to Emerald, which I don't think is likely, Clinton would win the region by virtue of winning this game. But it was it was a game that reminded you of one from the 70s or 80s. I mean, it was just a hard hitting ball game between two teams that really wanted it badly. But Clinton made the big stops over and over in the game, and Chester has a fine team, and Clinton may see them again. But it was a big night at Wilder Stadium, and 3A high school games don't get much bigger than at Wilder Stadium, because I actually thought that it was I think a lot of people maybe were scared off by the threat of rain. There are about 4,000 people at the game. That's a lot of people anywhere, but it's not. But it's probably the lowest Clinton home side attendance of the season, which just baffles me, because it was the biggest game of the season and about as big as game. But I mean, as I said, I'm sure that the forecast of rain or the afternoon heavy rain held the crowd down. But I was really surprised. I thought the Clinton crowd would turn out if lightning struck the goalpost, So, but as I said, that's a big crowd for any 3A game in the state. One of the biggest. And so it was a great night all around. And another thing is, longtime Clinton assistant, head baseball coach and assistant football coach Bill Rhodes received the Order of Palmetto in a surprise.
Nice.
It was at halftime during the game, and so this is Clinton's 100th anniversary, and it was senior night, and they have some kind of ceremony honoring the state champions from the past and that type of thing. So it was a really good night. A lot, last week. I'll tell you what else. I wrote last week that it would do Clinton a lot of good to have played Woodruff in the rain last week. And this game wasn't played in the rain, but it was pretty wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think I think that did come in handy just playing a week ago. Chester was coming off an open date, so it's on to Emerald and Plenton will. I don't know how. I actually haven't looked up how long, but Plenton will be at home for a while by virtue of winning the region.
Yeah, sounds like it. Okay, Monty, super job as always. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Big one for Furman tomorrow too.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I thought until I came to the game that it was going to be like the same game because Chester was more prolific, and so is Western Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, but I mean, you know, games aren't decided on paper, and so I think that's going to be a great game tomorrow. But I expect the last 2 years, the Furman game has been 47-40 and 43-42 with Western Carolina, and they have. And so I didn't come on here to talk about Furman.
That's
PC's
okay.
at home tomorrow, and they got a big game too.
Oh, now listen.
Anyway,
give PC its due for a stepped up season with 3 wins so far. They got a chance to have a winning season.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was at the PC Wofford game, and I consider it a miracle. And I didn't even take it seriously for a half, and I just thought PC would get worn down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they've come. Presbyterian football. Steve Englehart is a great guy and a great coach, and he's making the best of what they got, and he deserves a lot of credit. And so they have a home game tomorrow as well. And so you know, it's a good. It's sort of these last few years, PC couldn't have been when Englehart came to PC. I went to the spring game, and there's never been a team with a cupboard so bare as the one he inherited because everybody left with Kelly. And I remember I was at the spring game his first year, and I heard the assistant coach holler one line, and I turned around and said, well, there isn't but one line. You know, they had 6 offensive linemen dressed out. And so, you know, there's a long way to go, and no school has bundled things in athletics like Presbyterian College in the last 10 years. But there's a new athletic director, a new president, and things are looking up. And so I'm looking forward to. I'm so happy that Furman's not playing at 2:30 tomorrow.
You would know there in Clinton. Thank you, Monty. We got to run. Great hearing from you, Monty Dutton. There with the story on Clinton's win tonight. Let's see. We got an update. Chris Deering is on the scene for the Camden game, and Camden has pulled within 34-28 against Crestwood. 2:58 to play. Extra point was blocked. Just had a 17-yard touchdown pass. So it's Crestwood leading Camden 34-28 late. We'll be back. More reports coming up.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Hello, friends. This is David Shelton, co-host of the Friday Night Scoreboard show with Phil Kornblue. As many of you know my story, I've lost 2 sons to drug overdoses in the past 10 years. I want to tell you about my friends at Wake Up Carolina. Wake Up Carolina is a nonprofit recovery community organization dedicated to providing awareness, promoting education, and creating hope in recovery for our young adults, individuals, and families touched by substance use through collaborative community partnerships, trusted resources, and support services in Berkeley, Charleston, and Dorchester counties. The organization relies on private donors and state funding to make sure all their resources are free and open to the public. Call them today if you know someone who needs assistance. That's wakeupcarolina.org Phone number 843-972-8154. Don't wait until it's too late.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Okay, back with you on the high school football scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, and a lot of folks standing by to give us reports. So, guys, we're going to get to as many as we can. Got a break coming up at the top of the hour, so just hang with us. We will continue with nothing but reports here over the next little bit. So we'll just go in order as we have them here. And Hugh Gray, Newberry, and Columbia High tonight. Hey, Hugh, thank you for joining us. And tell us about this one with Newberry running it up big on the Caps tonight, 47-8.
Sure thing, Phil. Thanks for having us. From Bolden Stadium tonight, Newberry took the first possession of the game and drove 60 yards in 4 plays, capped it off with a 14-yard touchdown run by Cole Hutchinson. And then on its second drive, another 60-yard drive in 5 plays. This time, Kenton Caldwell hits Jamarius Shepard for a score, making it 14-0. So Columbia gets the ball back on their second play from scrimmage. There's a fumble. Bryce Satterwhite for the Bulldogs picks up the loose ball, scampers 21 yards to make the score 21-0. But it looked like the Capitals were going to get something going late in the first quarter. They took a kickoff return down to the Newberry 20-yard line, but then threw an interception in the end zone to kill that drive. Later, the Cats got back into the red zone with about 3 minutes left in the half, but turned the ball over on downs, and the Newberry offense goes to work, gets an 86-yard drive. Jamel Howes catches a 20-yard touchdown. We go to the half, 28-0. In the second half, a 53-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jamel McDaniel. Columbia was sandwiched between 2 Newberry scores. One was a 20-yard touchdown run by Howes, and another was a wide receiver screen that Tyler Levy took 69 yards for a score, making the final 41-8. So we're looking forward to Fairfield Central next week. It's a big rivalry. It's a big region showdown. Should have playoff implications. We often call it the Broad River rivalry. It's always a good game. So Bulldogs going to go back and heal up, patch up, and then get ready for that showdown.
Okay, sounds good. We appreciate the report, Hugh. We'll look for you next week. Thanks very much over there at WKDK. Tell Jimmy Coggins we said hello.
He's probably listening, but I'll do it. Thank you, Phil.
And he probably has a little glass of scotch.
Well, it's milk. He likes milk from Scottish cows.
Gotcha. I understand.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Phil.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Lou Bajak from the State, via state.com, go gamecocks.com. We're approaching the top of the hour. We might have to hold him over if he will hang with us. Lou, welcome in. Where were you tonight?
Irmo and Westwood. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. Won't take you too long to sum this one up.
No, it was pretty one-sided, and I kind of wanted to see Irmo. I mean, this is a chance they had to clinch the region outright, and they did just that. Scored 49 points in the first half and rolled, and go for undefeated regular season next week.
All right, listen, we got to hit a break. I do want to talk to you, if you can. Set your phone down. We'll come back to you in about 5 minutes and pick back up with you. And we've got Trey Stewart from up in the upstate going to join us with a report. Also, Scott Keeler. Guys, hang on. Come to you after the break.
Local in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Columbia's local talk radio experience. 107 The Point. MakeThePointRadio.com. The Point. The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Tasha Stevens. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says 2 American hostages have been released by terrorist group Hamas. He identified them as Chicago area residents and said they're being reunited with family on an Israeli military base. Blinken says the work continues to get all the hostages freed.
There are still 10 additional Americans who remain unaccounted for in this conflict. We know that some of them are being held hostage by Hamas, along with an estimated 200 other hostages held in Gaza.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the mother and daughter were abducted by Iranian-backed Islamist terrorists from southern Israel October 7th. Congressman Jim Jordan loses his 3rd effort to become House Speaker. Interim House Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry said the potential Speaker candidates need enough time to talk with other members.
It's fair to say that Leader Scalise wasn't given adequate time. He had 24 hours to campaign. I don't think that was right for him. Our nominee, Jordan, was given a little more time. Not right for him.
The vote on Jordan sends the party back to the drawing board and leaving the House leaderless for at least 3 more days. Meanwhile, congressional opposition will be a hurdle for President Biden as he pushes for $105 billion more in funding. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain says the union is seeing progress from GM and Stellantis. The strike against the automakers is now in its 36th day. Fain's Facebook appearance comes on the heels of GM passing another offer to the UAW for a 23% general wage increase. Sam Bankman-Fried and his allies allegedly put $50 million into dark money groups during the 2022 election cycle. Those are politically active nonprofits that don't publicly disclose names of donors. More at townhall.com.
Hi, former CI officer and survival expert Jason Hansen here. I teach people how to prepare for the unexpected. And right now, most Americans with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts are not prepared for a financial crisis that could hit the U.S. in the next 45 days if we don't fix our ramped up government spending. I have partnered with Advantage Gold, the #1 rated precious metals company in America, to release my new financial crisis survival kit that's 100% free for everyone with a retirement account who calls in today. Simply call 800-900-8000. My financial crisis survival kit is jam-packed with valuable information on how you can protect yourself with physical gold and silver. Your first step to protection is calling 800-900-8000 and speaking to one of their gold IRA specialists.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
Again, simply call 800-900-8000.
American Airlines is reporting a $545 million loss for the 3rd quarter due to higher labor costs.
It's also cutting its forecast of full-year profit. The airline said its results were dragged down by nearly $1 billion in special charges related to a new contract with pilots. American's loss stands in contrast with profits of more than $1 billion turned in by its 2 closest rivals, United and Delta, which also have expensive new contracts with their pilots.
Correspondent Jeremy House, American's revenue is about flat with last year, while United and Delta saw increases of more than 10% each. Elon Musk says X will launch a 2-tier premium subscription. He said the lower cost option will have all the same features as the higher cost option, except the lower option will still have ads. The higher option will be ad free. It will be launching soon, but he did not share any other details. News and analysis at townhall.com.
This is Ian with AccuClean. With the holiday season and gatherings with friends and family quickly approaching, now is the perfect time to get your carpets, rugs, and upholstery cleaned. AccuClean is a veteran-owned and local carpet cleaning company located in the Midlands for over 20 years. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 to make sure your carpets are refreshed this holiday season. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. We hope to see you soon.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work.
Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Me?
Text and whatever, just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour number 2 of the High School Football Scoreboard on this Friday night, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm in St. Louis, on my way to Missouri tomorrow for the Gamecocks and Missouri. J.P. Barry is back at the studios in downtown Columbia. By the way, Pat Daniel covering Clemson in Miami, so you can follow along with what he has from down there tomorrow on our website and on our Twitter. Let's get back to the reporters. We're going to hit everybody up in this segment, so thank you guys for hanging on. We're going to run through everything and get to you. And let's go back to Lou Bajak from the state. 2 things to talk about, Lou. Finish up on Irmo, their performance tonight. They have been big offensively all season long. Do they have enough? Are they complete enough to win it all this year with this team?
I think so. You mentioned the offense. I mean, they're averaging, I think, 40. They're averaging 45 points a game, and they've only given up 53 points in 9 games. Another shutout tonight. They're very complete, and they're physical. They're huge up front. I mean, you look at them, and it's just they're massive up front on both defensive and offensive line. Got a great quarterback in A.J. Brand, a big playmaker in Donovan Murph and Telvin Smith. Jaden Allen Hendricks is a heck of a running back, kind of a bowling ball type. He just runs guys over. And defensively, like I said, their linebackers are quick. Favor and Markwell Lewis and Georgia State commit Elijah Williams on that offensive line too. So yeah, I think they are. I think them and South Florence, they could meet, I think, in the 3rd round, which would be a pretty fun matchup for sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And before we let you go, your thoughts on this score that just came in a few moments ago. It's gone final. Crestwood beat Camden to win that region, 34-28. What about the development of this Crestwood team?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, he knew they were kind of going to be good and going the start of the season. I've seen Javon Martin, and he's a Shrine Bowl quarterback. They got a pretty dynamic offense, and to go into Zimp Stadium and even with a lightning delay in the 4th quarter there, and to win, it's not an easy place to win, and to do that and to win a region championship, I think that's Camden's first region loss in like 5 years maybe, and so that's a heck of a win for the Knights and to win the region championship.
Okay. What are you working on this week? What are you looking at this week overall for high school football in the Midlands?
Well, I mean, you got Mr. Football coming out, finalists on Wednesday, and then last week in the regular season, trying to get up these playoff scenarios and everything. It's a lot came in clearer. A lot was clearer tonight, so we'll look to see. There's a lot of big matchups. So Gilbert and BC play for the region championship next week, and a lot of games for seeds next week. Dutch Fork, Lexington, AC Flora, Ridgeview, games like that should be fun to look forward to the final week of the regular season.
One last thing, and I'll let you go. So Gray Collegiate plays IMG, and they get handled, get beat badly. I mean, right. I've said to people who brought this argument up all season long about them, I said, okay, that's fine, but they are not a team. I mean, they might be getting players from here, there, and everywhere, but they're not a team made up of high-level football recruits. There's not a lot of high-level Division I prospects on that team who are being recruited. They played a team that is loaded from top to bottom with those kind of players. So you think maybe this kind of answers the question a little bit about Gray in that, I mean, they're good, but I mean, they can't hang with an IMG. When IMG comes here next year, it's probably going to be the same thing because they're just going to, IMG recruits nationally, and they just reload and just have another 40 players who are all major Division I prospects.
Yeah, and I think they had 11 Power 5 commits, and throwing Jaden Bradford too, who's going to Liberty. I watched when I came back from the game last night. I watched at least like first quarter and a half, and just the speed difference is something. And the defensive line was just lightning quick for IMG. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you might say what you want, but I mean, they're not to that level. But I think it was a good experience, and hats off to Coach Holmes' play, and I know they got it benefited them a little bit financially, and to get a home and home win them is huge. They've never been to South Carolina, so it's definitely a learning experience, and I think they managed to come out of it pretty healthy, but getting ready for the playoffs. But yeah, it's it's definitely nine. I mean, IMG is a top 5 team in the nation. And people say, they were just powerful. For sure.
Well, that's why I still think, I don't know. I guess the proof is in the pudding. I mean, Gray beats up most everybody they play in their region, at their level. But again, they've got 30 some odd players.
They've won them against 3 and 4A, but yeah, it's a different class of players. I mean, they have good players. They got a few committed to college, and they're going to have some more. But this isn't like an elite all-star team, basically.
No. Okay. Thank you, Lou. Talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, Phil. Thank you.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Lou Bajak, right up there with the best in the business. He should also be called a bib. Maybe we should have multiple bibs. Well, you can't have multiple bibs. You can't have multiple best. I mean, if you're best, you're best, but Lou's got to be right up there with David. And David would say Lou's the best, and Lou would say David's the best. Or maybe Lou would say Lou is the best. I don't know. But they're all good. They're all good. Let's go to Trey Stewart. Welcome him into the high school scoreboard from up in Greer. Trey writes for, is it the Greer Citizen, Trey?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Great to have you with us. Our friend Sam Albuquerque said give you a call, that you'd be great to come on and give us a report from the game you covered. And you were at, where were you? You were at Lawrence Eastside.
I was at Lawrence Eastside tonight, and yeah, shout out to Sam. I appreciate him putting my name out there. But yeah, no, so I was at Lawrence Eastside tonight. Eastside came in without a region win. Lawrence had 2. They upset Riverside 2 weeks back. And Lawrence looked good against Riverside, so I expect them to come in playing a little better. But Eastside couldn't have started this game any better. I mean, they came out firing. Calvin Banks, senior running back, senior night, he had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Eastside went up 24-0 going into halftime. I believe they were up 36-8 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And, I'm kind of in my head getting the game story put together. It's a blowout. Eastside's cruising. And then all of a sudden, Lawrence just flips the switch. They had been trying the deep ball all game long, and it just wasn't working. And then for like the next 3 drives, it was just, it was burning Eastside secondary just consistently. And they ended up pulling the game back to 36-34 in the span of 9 minutes. And it's 36-34. They're going for 2. And Eastside junior defensive back, Elijah McMahon comes up. Quarterback Nick Dance, who's running to the corner of the end zone, dives for the pylon to get the 2-point conversion. And McMahon, he lays the shoulder pads into him and forces him out of bounds with less than 2 minutes to go to seal the victory for Eastside. But man, this one, it was looking like a blowout, and then it became one of the games of the night very quickly.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good win for them. What does their future look like in terms of the playoffs?
So Eastside, this game technically only mattered for seeding for Eastside. Their big game in terms of getting into the playoffs is going to be next week against Wade Hampton. And I believe, and I'd have to double check, but I believe if Eastside beats Wade Hampton next week, he's going to get them a 3 or a 4 seed in the playoffs. And if they lose to Wade Hampton, I believe they are out of the playoffs, unfortunately.
Ooh, so they need to get it done next week.
Yes, but this was Eastside's first region win since 2019. So this was a big one for them.
Something to build on. Hey, thank you very much, and call us next week from your game. Love to have you with us.
Will do. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, Trey. Good hearing from you, Trey Stewart. Let's go to continue. I promised to get to everybody. So have we got a hot call? Oh, okay, everybody hang on. We got a hot call. You know what that means? That means Billy Baker is on the line. He's hot. He's got a coach. I don't mean physically hot. I mean just he's hot. We got to get to him. Billy, welcome in. I know you were down there watching Somerville, Ashley Ridge.
Yes, Phil, and Ian Rafferty will tell you in just a few minutes that it was one of the most competitive football games he's coached in. He was a star player in 1993 when John McKissick won his 406th game. He was one of the players who lifted coach on his shoulders that historic night, and he's now the head coach. This was a very tough football game. Somerville trailed 24-21 at the half, and they did not lead in the game until the final minute of the game when they scored to actually pull ahead 42-38. I am sure David had some comments too. Ty Green was over 200 yards rushing tonight and 3 touchdowns. Yannick Smith had an outstanding game. Can't say enough for Derek Salley, a fine receiver from Ashley Ridge, 14 catches, 200-plus yards, 2 touchdowns in the Wildcat, 1 touchdown receiving. He is a fantastic receiver. Somerville will stay number 1 in South Carolina in 5A. I'm quite sure they're now 9-0, and they will host Fort Dorchester next Friday night in a very big game. I give you Ian Rafferty from his office. On a note, when the game hit 0, it thundered and lightning for the first time, and it rained buckets for 5 minutes right when the clock hit 0. It could not have ended at a better time weather-wise, because thunder and lightning hit when that thing hit 0 tonight, 42-38. Here is Ian Rafferty, outstanding football coach at Somerville. Here he is.
All right. Yes, he is. Former player. Building this thing back up. 11 wins last year. Undefeated so far this year. Coach, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. This one had to be a very, very sweet one. And you had to work this thing to the end, not taking the lead until the last couple of minutes. How about the way you guys, you must have just kept digging until you could finally grab this game by the throat and go on and win it.
Yeah, we did. You know, Ashley Ridge has got a great football team. I tried to warn our kids this week that they weren't going to be a pushover. You know, when you watched their film, you knew they were explosive on offense. You know, they did just enough on defense. The Sally kid, him and Yannick Smith, they got to be 1A and 1B best football players in the state of South Carolina. I mean, it was an unbelievable high school football game. I was proud of our kids. You know, we overcame a lot of adversity. Some things that we caused ourselves and some things that were out of our control. But we got some stops when we needed to. We took the ball 93 yards to win the game. You know, we got to stop on defense. They were down there getting ready to score again at the end. But we got stops when we needed to, and we scored when we needed to.
This offense of yours is just prolific. I mean, you were averaging 50 coming in. You didn't hit 50 tonight, but you still had a big offensive night. And what do you pin this offensive outburst this year on? What up front? Is it your linemen coming together? Is it your skill position? Why has this offense been so dynamic all season long?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everybody. You know, we feel like we got 3 or 4 really good wide receivers and 2 or 3 really good tight ends and good running backs, and the offensive line has been a pleasant surprise. We just feel like we got a lot of people that you know can take over a game if need be. You know, we struggled a little bit throwing the ball tonight, and Ashley Ridge had a lot to do with that. But you know, Trey Green, our running back, had a great night rushing. Our quarterback had some long runs, which was good. So it's just a collective effort, and the coaching staff, you know, both sides of the ball for us and our special teams, they just do an unbelievable job preparing and getting the kids ready. So it's just been a total team effort. You know, I don't want to say I was happy with the way it went down tonight, but we kind of needed that. I needed to see these guys fight through adversity and come out on the other side of it. We could have folded up pretty quick, and I think we were down 11. Weren't we down 11, Billy? Down 11. 11 points. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, I think. Starting the fourth quarter. Yep, and we found a way to get it done. So, hopefully we'll continue. You know, we've stayed healthy, knock on wood, and you got to do that this time of year. Hopefully we'll continue that.
Congratulations once again, Somerville. Back on top where we've seen it so many times, and good luck to you next week against Fort D, another big rivalry game. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Okay, haven't mentioned this final yet because we just got a final on it, but Gaffney has defeated Dorman tonight. Final score in that one, played at Dorman, 29-14. The Indians win it. I promise we get in as many reports as we can. Scott Keeler. Scott is joining us from the upstate, and we appreciate that very much. And before we get to Scott, let me just double check something real quick as we go to Scott. And Scott was at, Daniel and Pendleton, which was going in on paper, looked like it was going to be a really tight game, 56-28. The Lions win it, Scott. Did they dominate this thing throughout or just kind of pull away down the stretch?
What happened, Phil, was they jumped out 21-0 in the first quarter, and really it was kind of back and forth from there on. Pendleton never quit. The Pendleton could never get it down below 2 scores. It would always be between 2 and 3 scores, and then by the end it was 4 scores. But just a tremendous performance, especially on offense by Daniel. In the second half, their defense turned it up a little bit. It was 35-21 at the half, Daniel. Their defense had 9 sacks on the night, a bunch of those in the second half. And getting off to a 21-0 start on the road for a region title, basically every other team, they were both 3-0 in their region. Every other team in the region had at least 2 losses, 2 region losses. So this was the region title with another week to go next week. So Daniel wins the region title. Now Pendleton will have to win next week, and I expect they will to wrap up second place. But very, very impressed with both teams.
They Daniel tonight do it mostly on the ground, through the air, kind of a mixture.
Well, that was what was interesting. They had a pick 6 as part of that first quarter. Now I should mention, Pendleton quarterback Luke Gray entered tonight with 38 touchdown passes and 1 interception.
Ooh.
So his second interception is a pick 6 to make it 21-0 Daniel. And Daniel's quarterback actually only had 1 interception entering tonight. He also had a pick in this game. But it was funny because Jakari Bennett, the Daniel running back, gets a lot of attention, and deservedly so. He entered tonight averaging 12.6 yards a carry. But what does Daniel do? They get the ball first start. The quarterback, Colton Chapman, keeps for 15 on the first play, and then the next 5 plays are 5 completed passes. So they're already in Pendleton territory near the red zone before Jakari Bennett even touches the ball. But boy, did he touch the ball! They had that pick 6 in the first half, and they still had 49 offensive plays in the opening half, 402 yards. They finished with 598 yards of total offense, and it was basically the quarterback Colton Chapman and the running back Jakari Bennett. Chapman had 276 yards passing and 64 yards rushing, and Bennett had 216 yards rushing. So
they were spreading it around tonight for sure, and that's going to be something to be dealt with come playoff time. And no surprise that Daniel's going to be right there once again. What is their winning streak at now?
I'm not entirely sure. That's a good question. That's one I'll need to look up before I write my story, Phil. Thank you for reminding me of that. Because I live about an hour away from Daniel and Pendleton. I typically do the Greenville County game, but I really wanted to kind of see this, just seeing these numbers that these two teams have put up all year.
Yeah.
And I should mention the young man from Pendleton, Luke Gray, even in the losing effort, he finished with 379 yards passing on a night where he got sacked 9 times. So not a bad effort from him by any means.
And let me remind folks that you're one of the writers with a new outlet in the upstate, Harrison's Huddle, at harrisonshuddle.com, and on Twitter at Twitter, Harrison Hud 13. Is that right?
Yeah,
Harrison Hud 13.
That's kind of Huddle, but
HUDDL and back in a 3.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's an
Right.
L.
Little funky on there, yeah. But also, Ian has recruited me to Prep Red Zone, so I'm actually running for them as well. And of course, I have my own site, Furman Sports Board, as well. So
Terrific.
I'm a busy man around this time of year.
You got it. Well, thank you, and we'll talk to you next week, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Scott. Great stuff. Okay, we got to go to a break. Tried to get into as many of you as we could. Hang on. And David's also with us. I think he's driving through a monsoon, so we've left him alone so he wouldn't. Because I remember one time we had David on with us driving in the rain, and I think he drove into a ditch or something. That was many, many years ago. He's much smarter now, but we don't want to repeat. We'll get to him, and we'll get to the rest of the reports, and we'll go through all the scores. We've about got everything in, so stay with us. Back in a moment.
Investing can be like a puzzle. There's so many pieces to consider, and it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. Call 866-739-7064 or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn more about how we can help you take the first step towards reaching your financial goals. Securities offered through LPL Financial.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
All right, let's move quickly before the bottom of the hour break. Appreciate everybody's patience. Want to welcome in Cam Adams from the Index Journal in Greenwood, making his debut call to us tonight. Really appreciate it, Cam. And you watched Greenwood and Greenville tonight and saw the Red Raiders take it to the Eagles in a big way.
Yeah, it was Greenville's a really good team. They came out things really just didn't start well for Greenwood. I think it was the opening kickoff. They had a 5-yard penalty called on them. They re-kicked the kick, and I think first play from scrimmage. I think it's Mazio Bennett ran 52 yards to the house on a reverse play, and then after that, they started the game. I think 6 straight touchdown drives, and they just kind of ran away with it.
They're impressive. Greenville, a lot of speed, a lot of talent. Greenwood, what do you see, having seen them this year, what do you think about where they can go in the postseason? What kind of success do you think they might be able to have?
I think, Coach Leonard has a really good team in Greenwood. I think it's really improved from last year. Lots of good players. They moved to the spread this season and have a pretty good young quarterback. He's a sophomore, Tristan Lewis. I think for playoffs right now, they'd be matched up with North Augusta, assuming they get the 3 seed and North Augusta gets that 2 seed, which is the way it is now.
I got to break.
A good matchup because they.
Thank you, Cam. We got to go to a hard break, man. Appreciate it. Talk to you next week. Be right back.
And Doug. With Liberty Mutual, you can customize and save hundreds on your car insurance. But what to buy with those savings? Yep, I bought a sound effects machine.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This November, Sunday Morning Football debuts in Frankfurt, Germany on NFL Network.
I'll get no better than this.
With back-to-back weeks, must-see matchups.
Let's go!
First, the Dolphins take on the Chiefs.
For the end zone caught!
Then, the Colts face the Patriots.
And he's got it!
So set your alarms.
Game time!
Then rise, shine, and watch 2 Sundays full of football. The NFL Frankfurt Games, November 5th and 12th, only on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus.
To replace former Speaker Kevin McCarthy. More Californians are moving to Texas than any other state, according to census data. It's #1 destination for people wanting to leave the West Coast. This is SRN News.
Inflation is crippling American families, and the current administration sure isn't doing you any favors. It's times like these you need to find ways to spend less wherever you can. One easy way is switching your wireless service to Pure Talk. That's right, veteran-owned Pure Talk is wireless for Americans by Americans. Instead of wasting their money on thousands of retail stores you'll never go into, famous actors you don't care about, or expensive perks you'll never use, they just want to save you money. In fact, Pure Talk saves the average family almost $1,000 a year, and the coverage is great. The most dependable 5G network in the U.S. You can get unlimited talk, text, and plenty of high-speed data for just $30 a month. If you're ready to cut your wireless bill in half,
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2023 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right. For about $50 a month, you'll get lightning fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't like it, you get your money back. But you're going to love it, and you're going to love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no upfront costs, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. No, I'm not. You are cheap. Well, maybe I am. If you're buying a diamond ring for your wife, it's not cool to be cheap. If you're buying airline tickets, it's very cool to be cheap and called Trip Amigo, where you can fly anywhere in the world and save up to 75% on over 500 airlines and 300,000 hotels. Plus, rental cars and vacation packages. Visit family, friends, or go on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation. Go ahead, be cheap. We have special fares we're not allowed to publish. When you book your airline reservations with Trip Amigo, you'll spend your travel money when you get there, not by getting there. Call Trip Amigo now and mention the travel code AMIGO and save even more. Call Trip Amigo now.
800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. 800-772-4165. That's 800-772-4165.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We give you David Shelton. Was I correct when I said that one time many years ago you were on the phone with us driving in the storm and like drove into a ditch or something?
No. It was after our show. That's when I came to Columbia every Friday night and did the show in studio.
Yeah.
And I was driving home at 1:30 in the morning, and hit a what do you call those? Like a hydroplane. I hydroplaned off the interstate into the woods.
I mean, I'm not laughing. It's not funny.
And my wife at the time was like, "And tell me why you do this stupid scoreboard show." And so I divorced her when she said that, and the rest is history.
Football definitely comes before you. I'm sorry.
That's what I told her. I was like, I risked my life for Phil Kornblue.
Well, how bad was it down there tonight with the weather after your game?
It was good until the clock hit 0, and all of a sudden the lightning siren went off, and the bottom dropped out, and they run the teams off the field, and I didn't get any post-game interviews, and then I was trying to send my story to the newspaper, and I couldn't get any Wi-Fi. I don't know if it was Ashley Ridge is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so I have my hotspot. It wasn't working, so I had to run to my car in the rain, and then read my story to Jeff Hartzell at Post and Courier so he could get it in before the deadline. That's why I'm so late. Then I couldn't get out the parking lot because there was a billion people there. And it's been a hell of a night, that's for sure. But I saw a great game.
Yeah.
And I heard Billy's report with Coach Rafferty, and man, I kind of agree with Rafferty. Yannick Smith and Derek Salley. I mean, they're two of the top 5 players in this state. They are really, God, they're good. And they both did some good things tonight. But Somerville actually. Well, each team had a running back go over 200 yards rushing, and their game is both teams like to throw the ball, and but I think both teams were trying to stop the pass, and the run was open, and but you got to give Somerville a little bit of credit. They got the ball at their 6-yard line with about 6 minutes to go, and they were down 4, and they went down the field. I think they threw one pass on the entire drive. They just ran it, and scored. And, they were down 11 points in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, number 1 ranking, all that undefeated, all that was on the line. And they showed me something tonight. I mean, they got to do some work defensively in the playoffs. They were exposed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You're on the road, and it's a rivalry game, and a packed house, and you find a way to come from 11 points down. That kind of shows that you got a little bit of guts in you. It was really a gutty performance.
I was thinking, was this the biggest game for Ashley Ridge in their relatively young history? And I guess you'd have to go back to 2011 when they made the 3rd round of the playoffs, and they had an 11-win team. I guess some of those games that year would rank at the very top. But, I mean, in this new era with Jeff Tate as their coach now, definitely the biggest game they've had.
Well, yeah, they had a game with Fort Dorchester that they did not win. That they were undefeated at the time, and Fort Dorchester beat them, which by the way sets up Fort and Somerville next week for the region title. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was I mean, Ashley Ridge did a lot of good things, but that last drive they just couldn't tackle Green, and he's about 5'10", about 210, 215 or whatever, and he was lowering his shoulder and getting 6 yards a pop, and then he had a 22-yard run. But Ashley Ridge has got a good team. They got, in my opinion, he might be the best player in the state in Derek Sally, so they could be a threat in the playoffs. They don't feel real good right now, but they'll beat Stall next week, and they'll be 8-2, and they'll be, I guess they're going to be the third seed, so they're going to probably be on the road in the first round, but they got a game that can travel. They got a game that can play on the road, so we'll see.
Okay. We've had a gazillion reporters tonight, and we thank everybody for calling in. Let's go to Justin Mathis. And Justin, he was at the Chapman game tonight, Chapman and Blue Ridge. And Justin, welcome in. Give us the details on this one. Let me double-check my score just so I know what we're talking about here. It was a high-scoring game, and Chapman putting 50 on the board against Blue Ridge. What'd you think of the Chapman effort tonight?
Well, people, I guess you could say in this region have been waiting for one game, and we'll hit on that, I guess, at the end of this. But Chapman kind of came out firing, got established the running game a little bit. Matthias Scott had another 3-touchdown night on just 9 carries. Coleman Gray, actually, the Panthers had a 3-play, 52-yard drive to open the game. They got the opening kickoff after a good return from the return man. And Coleman Gray ran it in from about 23 yards out, set the tone early. Panthers put up 47 points in that first half, which also included a spectacular running catch from Sean Cunningham, the fourth-year starter at receiver for the Panthers. The pass initially looked like it might be slightly overthrown. Then here comes Cunningham running underneath it, grabs it about the 10, and takes it the rest of the way. And some college is going to get a gem in that young man in Cunningham. He has not committed anywhere yet, to my knowledge. But Coleman Gray, 117 yards passing on 5 attempts, 5 completions. And Keanu Na, that's right. But another good night for Cunningham, 77 yards receiving, and sets up the matchup everybody's been waiting for with Chapman and Broome next week. And that's a very big one, explosive offenses to go to battle.
I was going to say, you're going to have some talent on that field with the guys you were talking about from Chapman and the running back from Broome. There's going to be a lot of offensive talent on display in that one.
Yeah, and that's and I'll be honest with you, Phil, to be fully transparent, that anytime Broome and Chapman gets together, that's a special one for me because I've sides of the family went to both schools.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a special one for me. But this is a game everybody's been waiting for, and they finally get to see it next week in Inman, South Carolina, and it's going to be exciting. I'm curious to see what Brackett Brandon looks like with the passing game. Nobody's really talking about their passing attack. It's always what Brackett Brandon and McGill are doing on the ground, and rightfully so. So I'm kind of curious. And also, I think both defenses will have something to say about it because they're getting no talk whatsoever.
Well, when you're overshadowed by these offenses, that's understandable. Justin, thank you, and we will definitely be looking for your report next week.
And quick thing I want to throw in before I sign off, KV Henderson, running back for Blue Ridge, went over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. And also, congrats to Matt Reel on his first region win at Bowling Springs.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great hearing from you. Really appreciate it. Okay, David, let me go through the scores, and then we'll have –
Let me give you a final. Just went final because they had a lightning delay. Philip Simmons and Hanahan had a lightning delay with 1 minute and 18 seconds left in the game, and they just now finished the game. And Hanahan upsets undefeated Philip Simmons 37-34. And Hanahan's going to win that region. Philip Simmons was 8-0 and ranked in the top 10, and Hanahan pulls the upset. It took about 4 hours to do it, but they did it.
I was wondering where that score was. That was one we've been waiting on Baptist Hill and Cross is another one. You've heard anything on that?
Well, I know that game started late. I have not. I will try to track down that score, but I know it did not start on time. It was raining pretty bad over there, from what I heard.
I think I've been out of the state. I've been gone for several days because I was in Birmingham, then Atlanta, and I'm here in Missouri. So I guess, Mr. Stupid, you shouldn't say things you don't know anything about. I guess I should apologize for my smart alecky comment on Sports Talk tonight about drizzle. I guess it was more than drizzle coming down across the state tonight, huh?
Yeah, and I just got a text that says Cross won 52-0.
Ooh, okay. You don't cross, do you?
You don't cross. The Trojans are red hot, boy.
Okay. Well, we got everything in. Looks like we're missing Academic Magnet and Lake Marion. That's about the only score that we don't have. So let's take it from top to bottom, top of the state to the bottom, David, and let you comment after I go through the area. So in the upstate, Berea over Pickens, 28-25. Abbeville, 49. Blacksburg, 7. You just heard Chapman beat Blue Ridge, 50-21. Spartanburg falls to Boiling Springs. Boiling Springs, 24. Spartanburg, 17. Broome, 55. Carolina, 6. Indianland, 28. Catawba Ridge, 7. Christchurch beat St. Joseph's, 35-21. Clinton over Chester, 14-6. Clover, 48-0 over Fort Mill. Crescent, 42-0 over West Oak. Gaffney beat Dorman, 29-14. Eastside edged Lawrence, 36-34. Palmetto, 23. Fountain Inn, 21. Greenville, 48. Greenwood, 7. Louisville, 74. Whitmire, 0. Liberty, 40. Landrum, 33. Hillcrest, 57. Malden, 0. Calhoun Falls and McCormick will play tomorrow. Nation Ford, 49. Spring Valley, 0. 96-27. Chesney, 20. Northwestern, 64. South Point, 31. Daniel, 56. Pendleton, 28. Wren, 42. Powdersville, 39. Walhalla beat Seneca, 28-19. David, I pointed out that was the first win for the Razorbacks over the Bobcats in like a long, long time. Belton Honeypath, 44. Southside, 0. T.L. Hanna, 64. Woodmont, 25. Emerald, 49. Union County, 35. Greer, 65. Wade Hampton, 7. Southside Christian, 47. Ware Shoals, 12. Westside, 63. Easley, 35. And we're looking for Lancaster and York. Don't have that one yet. So, from those upstate scores, break down the ones that are most intriguing to you.
Well, I think the ones we talked about on Sports Talk, Daniel Pendleton. Daniel was obviously the better team there. South Point doesn't have enough offense to keep up with Northwestern. Thought that was going to be the case. Northwestern can really score. The win by Boiling Springs over Spartanburg, that's a huge win for Matt Reel trying to change that program around, and that's a tough loss to Spartanburg because I don't have it standings in front of me, but I don't know where they stand in terms of making the playoffs. If they play Dorman next week, that may be for a playoff spot.
I wonder if this York-Lancaster game, I can't find the score anywhere. I wonder if it was postponed. We just haven't. You haven't heard anything about that game, have you?
I have not seen anything. I thought maybe they might have played last night, and I was looking, and I didn't see it.
Yeah. I could call Dr. Dean Boyd and ask him, but he might be sleeping at this point. Let's go to the Midlands. Let's go to the Midlands real quick. Got to pick up the pace. AC Flora, 44. Lugoff Elgin, 3. North Augusta, 49. Airport, 15. Bamberg Earhart, 46. Allendale Fairfax, 8. Rock Hill and Blythewood. Got to see if we can find a score there. We've got delayed due to weather. I don't know if they got back at it or not. Well Branch, 55. Branchville, 12. Brooklyn Casey, 49. Swansea, 0. JP, see if we can find a score on that Blythewood game. Buford, 28. Sharon, 25. Crestwood, 34. Camden, 28. Newberry, 47. Columbia, 8. Wagner Sally 36, Denmark Oler 28, Dutch Fork 56, River Bluff 3, Fairfield Central 60, Eau Claire nothing. Rock Hill 41, Blythewood 7. Thank you. I asked JP and he delivers. That's what makes him the best. He's a bib. He's the best in the business. Where are we? Ridgeland Hardyville 36, Edisto 22, Saluda 28, Fox Creek 10, Gilbert 53, Dreer 6. Still looking for Academic Magnet and Lake Marion. Overtime, Darlington 20, Lakewood 18, Lexington 48, Aiken 18, Keenan 42, Mid Carolina 14, Midland Valley 56, South Aiken 28, Andrew Jackson 42, North Central 14, Lower Richland 18, Orangeburg Wilkinson 12, Batesburg Leesville 35, Peoria nothing, Ridgeview 45, Richland Northeast 21, Calhoun County 55, Rich Spring Monetta 6, Strom Thurmond 34, Silver Bluff 7, Sumter 42, St. James 14, Irmo 63, Westwood nothing, White Knoll 20, Chapin 14, Blackville Hilda 50, Williston Elko 14. David, what about those Midland scores? What caught your eye?
I didn't catch all of them because I was looking for scores, but the Strom Thurmond win over Silver Bluff tonight, obviously that's a huge win for them. I just got a message that Barnwell and Woodland are going to resume play on Monday night. It is 20-17 Woodland over Barnwell at the start of the third quarter, and I guess the weather came in and they said we'll go home and we'll come back Monday. So if you don't have a final on that, that's why.
Okay, very good. So postpone to Monday, third quarter score. Okay. What about Irmo putting 63 up tonight?
Well, I mean, they're very capable of doing that. And how many points did they give up?
That would be 0.
Yeah, their defense is legit. Their offense is very capable. They got a good quarterback, and you got a good quarterback, you can score points. But I was talking to a coach earlier this week. We were talking about different teams, and they were like, "Man, Irmo's defense is really, really good." So quarterback and defense wins in the playoffs. That's the way it works. If you got a quarterback and you can play defense, you got a great chance to advance. And those 4A playoffs are going to be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. One more before we hit the break. How about Crestwood beating Camden, winning that region 34-28?
Yeah, we said on Sports Talk, I thought this was going to be a close, competitive game with some points scored. And hats off to Crestwood, man. They've had a great season.
Yes, they have. Great turnaround season. That's still Roosevelt Nelson, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, former Clemson linebacker, as I recall. Okay, let's hit our final break. We'll come back, run through the rest of the scores, get some of David's final comments, and then wrap her up. And then next week is the last week of the regular season. Can you believe it, David?
Nope, I cannot.
I can't either. But you know what? It's for real. It is the last week of the regular season. And then the playoffs begin, and we'll be back after the break.
Looking for a way to fight back against inflation? One viable way to help your money stay relevant during inflation is through investing. To a new investor, investing can feel like a puzzle. With so many pieces to consider, it can be hard to know where to start. But with the right guidance along the way, you can put the pieces together to create a winning strategy. That's where Founders Investment Services come in. Our team of financial advisors can help you navigate the complexities of investing and create a personalized plan that fits your goals and risk tolerance. We'll work with you to identify the pieces of your puzzle and how they fit into your financial future. When you're ready to find the pieces to your financial plan, call 866-739-7064 to speak with one of our specialists, or visit foundersfcuinvestments.com to learn about how we can help you identify the key pieces to your financial plans. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC, and not NCUA insured. Not guaranteed by credit union and may lose value.
Farm Bureau Insurance's agricultural roots and ties to South Carolina farmers have shaped the company's culture and work ethic, providing a unique customer experience. Customers are treated like people, not policies. Now, while other insurance companies may have a one-size-fits-all approach to handling customers, we believe you need to be valued and treated right. Our claims professionals work until the job is done, and our agents still believe in the commitment that comes with a handshake. Call Buddy Bridges in Clinton and Lawrence at 864-923-2174 for all of your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Lee Central, Andrews. Oh, let's give you the rest of the scores. Lee Central and Andrews delayed to Monday. Ainer, 56. Georgetown, 48. Carolina Forest, 31. Socastee, nothing. Central, 55. Chesterfield, 18. Dillon, 38. Waccamaw, 20. Don't have anything on Carvers Bay, East Clarendon, if they played. Hannah Pamplico, 26. Green Sea Floyd's, 9. Hartsville, 55. West Florence, 19. Lake City, 14. Marlboro County, 8. Lamar beat Lakeview 15-12, so Lamar wins that region. Latta will finish second. Not too bad for the boys. Champion, home of champions. Loris 41, Manning nothing. Nothing on Great Falls, Macby yet. Kingstree 52, Mullins nothing. Myrtle Beach 51, Wilson nothing. Don't have Hemingway, Scotts Branch. And South Florence 41, North Myrtle Beach 2. That's what we have. And then Low Country. We have, as you know, Somerville 42, Ashley Ridge 38, Beaufort 54, North Charleston 12, Oceanside 47, Bishop England 7. Here we go. East Clarendon beat Carvers Bay 14-12. Thank you, Dennis Brunson. East Clarendon 14, Carvers Bay 12. Where were we? Bluffton 21, May River 6. Lucy Beckham, 35. Colleton County, nothing. Cross, 52. Baptist Hill, nothing. Fort Dorchester, 28. West Ashley, 14. James Island, 38. Hilton Head, nothing. Hanahan, 37. Philip Simmons, 34. Cane Bay, 34. And was it Stall, nothing? Why is there a K in there? I think it was 34, nothing, maybe. Stratford, 34. Is that right, David? 34, nothing?
Yes.
Cane Bay over Stall. Stratford, 34. Berkeley, 7. Goose Creek 49, Wando 20, and as David mentioned, Woodland, Barnwell 20-17. Woodland game postponed to Monday, third quarter. Hemingway beat Scotts Branch. Let me mention this: Hemingway breaks a 36-game losing streak, David, beating Scotts Branch 20-6.
Wow, that's great. That losing streak starting to get kind of embarrassing. I don't know if you had a final, but somebody just texted me. Art Craig just texted me. OW beat Lower Richland 22-21.
Okay, I think we had it another way. So let me go back. OW won that game 22-21.
Correct.
Okay. OW 22 and Lower Richland 21. Real quick, your thoughts on what you heard there. You've talked about the Low Country. What about the Midlands?
Well, we talked.
No, I'm sorry. We talked about the Midlands. PD. Talk about the PD.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the regulars won. Hartsville was impressive. South Florence was impressive. Myrtle Beach was impressive. That region is just really a Donnybrook, and you know, Dillon got the win tonight, so no surprises.
And any final thoughts from the Low Country besides the game you were at?
Just that Hanahan win over Philip Simmons, man. I think that's huge. Hanahan with a first-year coach. They were basically, you know, about a 500 team, but they played well lately, and that's a big win for them to knock off an undefeated Philip Simmons team.
And James Island, 38-0. That defense continues to be dynamic there at James Island.
Yeah, They ended that game in the third quarter because of weather.
Oh, okay. David, thank you. Have a great weekend. Thank you, JP. Thanks to everybody that called in, everybody that played, coached, and went to the games. Have a great weekend.
The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DM.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.